All right, let's dive right into this. Does Newfoundland and Labrador actually have the RCMP? It's a question we get all the time from aspiring officers and curious locals alike about Canada's easternmost province, understanding RCMP and RNC policing. So, the short answer to that question? Yes, absolutely. But here's the catch. Policing in this province works completely differently than what you might expect to see in the rest of Canada. It actually all comes down to a really unique dual policing system. Basically, two entirely distinct forces physically divide the map to handle some vastly different regional needs. The RCMP, Federal and Rural Policing. Let's start with the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, which is known locally within their structure as B Division. What's truly fascinating here is just the sheer scale of their operation. We're talking about approximately 42 standalone detachments spread all across Newfoundland and Labrador. Their core mandate? Tackling those massive, geographically isolated areas. They handle the rural and remote communities, extensive marine and coastal enforcement, and pretty much all the federal duties, like border security, across the entire province. The RNC, Urban Community Policing. Now let's look at the other half of this system to complete the picture. The Royal Newfoundland Constabulary, or, as it's more commonly known, the RNC. Incredibly, the RNC traces its roots all the way back to 1729. That is way before Confederation, making it literally one of the absolute oldest continuously operating police forces in all of North America. Pretty wild, right? So the key takeaway here is that the RNC serves the province's larger, more densely populated urban communities. Think places like metropolitan St. John's, the Corner Brook region, and Western Labrador. They use a round-the-clock, 24/7 community-based policing model. When you look at this dual policing system side by side, it makes total sense why it exists. You've got the RCMP, which is built for vast rural coverage, national scope, and contract provincial policing. Then you've got the RNC, which is totally optimized for high-density urban environments with deep local and provincial roots, operating on a 24-hour municipal model. Now you might be thinking, does this split map create gaps? Actually, no. Through joint forces operations, the RCMP and RNC bridge that gap perfectly. They collaborate seamlessly on major crimes, disaster response, and specialized investigations. Modernization and Expansion, a changing landscape. This policing environment is anything but static. It's actively evolving today to meet modern demands. If we look at the evolution of policing here, the RCMP first arrived when Newfoundland and Labrador joined Canada back in 1949. Fast forward to 2024, and the RNC just massively expanded its reach into 14 Western communities. And looking ahead to 2025, the RCMP is actively deploying body-worn cameras to really enhance accountability. Choosing your career path, two distinct opportunities. So, why does all this actually matter for you? Well, if you're an aspiring police officer weighing your options, this setup presents two entirely distinct career paths. Let's break down which path fits you. Joining the RCMP means doing 26 weeks of training in Regina, but it opens up national transfer opportunities and specialized federal roles. On the flip side, joining the RNC means 36 weeks of training over in PEI. The big difference? You stay right there in Newfoundland and Labrador, building a super deep community connection. Both of these offer incredibly rewarding ways to serve. So, I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Which policing style actually aligns with your future? For a full breakdown of all this, make sure to visit joinrcmp.ca. It's a fantastic independent resource for future Mounties to figure out their exact path. Check it out.